Parker Schnabel and his team return for a new season of Gold Rushes, Parker's Trail, premiering April 7th on Discovery Channel. Parker, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks for having me.
So, going to South America, Peru, tell me a little bit about the planning and the research that it takes to go to a new destination.
Yeah, there's always a fair bit of sort of planning and conversations um, and I think one of the biggest problems is like how uh, what can a production company get insured for is unfortunately, because I don't care about that at all. But unfortunately, that is one of the conversations. And so, I like going to the most remote, crazy parts of the world would be my preference. With COVID, it's been really difficult to do that. So the last two trips have been to Australia and New Zealand, actually. And I was feeling a fair bit of, I don't know, boredom out of being in countries that are, not in the middle of South America and not in a more dangerous environment and are kind of more, I don't know, boring.
Well, this is definitely not boring. I mean, when you see from the trailer, we're seeing historical leads passed down from the Incas. I mean, this almost feels like a movie that you're taking us through.
And I should clarify, I don't find New Zealand or Australia boring. I love both the countries, but I do always want a bit of like hostile excitement, right? And you don't get that in a place like those countries. So in South America, you get very hostile environments and occasionally hostile people. I wouldn't say any more often than any other country, but yeah, I really love jungles. I really love kind of physically demanding areas and environments, and we got all of that and then some on this trip.
At what point do you feel like this is exciting? This is exactly the adrenaline rush that I want. This is the environment I want to be in, and this is maybe a little too dangerous. I'm going to step back. Is there that line for Parker or no?
Really hard line to draw. Yeah, I struggle with that, and ultimately it comes down to the people around me and me needing to kind of trust them that when they start telling me like, no, Parker, like this is serious and you need to start listening to what so and so is saying. I usually can like snap back out of it and realize that like, oh shit, like things are actually about to get really bad or could get really bad. Um, and um, and it's something that's always a challenge. It's tough. It's tough to be in an environment like that, especially with camera crew, right? Like that's a really challenging thing to do.
Because I find it so fascinating that it's you and the team. You know what you're doing. You've been doing this since you were a kid. Everybody has a particular job. But talk to me about the camera crew and that team getting ready to. Are they the same team that's always with you? Is it someone that's specific that knows the area of Peru? Tell me a little bit about the crew that works with the show.
So the show is shot by a British production company, that same one that I've worked with for 13 years. And the crew itself are people who, a lot of them I've worked with for 8 or more years. And then a bunch of the ones that haven't been 8 years have been like 4 or 5. A lot of them are really good friends of mine, and they are like the absolute best at what they do. And they're all extremely competent and capable and also really nice people. And on this trip, we had people that were, having to take cameras apart completely and trying to put them back together in the jungle and dealing with, all sorts of different environmental or cultural issues or whatever. I just like, you know, even just getting the job done in a day, like at some points there would be like 3 or 4 people that were sick and unable to work. Myself, and that happened to me, that happened to everybody that was on camera or behind the camera. And like they still would like get up in the morning, cobble a crew together of whoever could get a job done. And it was unreal. Like they're total badasses. Yeah, they were really, really good.
Yeah, I don't want to give too much away, but we see in the trailer that you end up getting sick. So I'm happy that you're, sitting here talking with me right now, and I know that that you're better.
Yeah, I survived that. Although there was a point where I was like, just finish me off. But there's no coming back from this for me.
We also get to see in the
But
trailer. Okay. We
no,
also
I was just gonna say, like, everybody was dealing with that, right? Like I was on camera because I'm on camera and whatnot, and that was particularly bad. But everybody was getting sick. Everybody was dealing with this stuff, and like it was one of the most brutal experiences that I've been through. Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about setting a goal, because you're going to a new environment. We see you're striking your rich, that you're getting the content, you're getting the goal that you're looking for. But how do you set a goal as far as, we're going to go to a new environment, we've never been there before, here's how much we're expecting to get, or here's when we'll be happy that we can leave?
Yeah, it's kind of challenging because you don't know what you're getting into. And no matter how much prep and no matter how much planning you do for a trip like that, it pretty much goes out the window in the first week. So so it's really tough to set a goal and say, here's what we're going to do and here's what we're after. I think that a lot of it is like, I'm just going in with the goal of like being able to assess as many different opportunities as possible, and kind of get like that opportunity to really meet people, really spend time with people, and kind of assess that an area or a region for sort of mining potential. And we're not going down there and saying, oh, we're gonna like start a gold mine and find 1,000 ounces of gold. That's not realistic, but it's definitely something where this is like advanced early stage exploration, and our goals kind of are matched with that idea.
Awesome. Well, Parker, thank you so much for your time today. April 7th, catch the new season of Discovery Channel's Gold Rush, Parker's Trail. Parker, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks for having me.